The Schimflung principle. Schimflung. There we go. I'm going to do a video about that. I'm just going to learn how to say it properly before I start repeating it out loud. Hey, welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to be looking at taking panoramic images using a tilt-shift lens. If you just want the quick skivvy on how to do this, it's a really simple three-step process. You take 3 shots using your tilt-shift lens, using the shift function, moving the lens up and down, going shot 1, shot 2, and shot 3. Bang them into Lightroom. Then once in Lightroom, go to the Develop module, highlight the 3 of them, right-click, merge as panoramic, you're done. Really simple. If you want a bit more detail on how to do this and why you should do this, continue watching this video. Now, you're probably wondering why the focus on this lens is a bit weird. It's because I'm filming this on a tilt-shift lens, which is the tool that we're going to use today to create our panoramics. Now, this is a 45mm tilt-shift lens. I use it a lot for flat lays, when we're in a tight spot. So I'm going to show you today how to create the perfect panoramic. And the reason you might want to do this is either to create a bigger image, in terms of the actual sheer scale of it, to create a medium format look, because in effect you will be getting a medium format image because we're going to stitch 3 bits of our sensor together. Or because you're in a tight spot and you can't get everything into frame. This is what this 45mm here gets used for a lot. If the ceilings where I'm shooting are too low and I need to get a huge flat lay, I will use this approach to actually widen the lens and it will make it look like a 24mm lens. So the mechanics of this lens are quite simple. We mount it on the camera like so, and then we can shift it this way, and if you just see the lens moving, but the camera staying still. Let me see if I can get it in that plane of focus. There we go. No, completely missed that. There we go. So left, got my fat little hands. Center, right, there we go. So these are the 3 movements. And because it's moving across the sensor like this, there's absolutely no shifting left and right. You've probably seen people do panoramics like this. It doesn't work. This here will give you the perfect panoramic. And I'm going to show you how to do it and then how to stitch it together in Lightroom via Photoshop to create really high resolution images. Now behind me over here I've got one of my favourite Parisian antique cups. It's a tin cup, it's blue on the inside and it's like this rich red on the outside, which is probably of no interest to you whatsoever, but I'm really into cups. I'm going to take that picture, I'm going to do a live recording on Lightroom. There's my plane of focus, hello. See this, I've got my hand here, my face here, both in focus. But then here, we're gone. I shouldn't be left alone for so long. Anyway, let's jump into this. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so I'm actually re-recording this because when I got back, I realised that the file had corrupted from the screen recording. So this is the panoramic shot for the tilt-shift lens. This is image number 1. This is the whole image. So I've just got the top of the cup in here and nothing else. And as we go through the images, you'll see that all I've done is shifted the lens across the sensor to get every area of the cup in shot. So we've got our 3 areas here. We don't change the focus, keep the plane of focus exactly the same throughout them. And then all we do is we highlight these 3 images, right click, we go up to Photo Merge, Merge Panorama. Now within these options here, I tend to leave it in cylindrical, but if it doesn't work, I just literally skip across them. It's a bit of a, you're never quite sure what you're getting. With tilt-shift lenses, it normally works first time, but with different types of panoramics, if you're doing just randomly throwing a camera around, you might need to swap around these a bit. I always leave auto crop on, and then I just press merge, and then the computer's going to sound like it's taking off whilst it merges the files. Whilst it's doing that, I'm going to show you this shot here, because this is using the lens just to take the photograph. I've not used any of the functions. This is a standard 35mm shot. See, I've got a very shallow depth of field here. And it's fine for what it is. It's a picture of a cup. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it does the job. Now, what we're going to notice when this new panoramic comes in, 1, the resolution will be much greater. There we go. So this is a current resolution. It's 5,200 pixels by 7,800, which is pretty high res. But when we stitch these 3 images together, it's not going to be 3 times that, but it's going to be a lot more. So one of the big differences, I took this shot in portrait, whereas the shot was stitching together, I took in landscape, and then shifted the lens up and down to create a portrait image. So here's our new file, is 8,900 by 12,500 pixels. So this is full on medium format territory in terms of resolution, but not just resolution. You'll also notice it has a medium format look because we've actually stitched 3 sensors together. So if we look at the image here, and then back to 35mm, you can see there's a huge difference in the depth. The camera settings haven't changed at all. So 5.6, 125th at 100 ISO. It's the same camera settings, but we've increased the size of the sensor. So if you just pop them into the compare module in Lightroom, we just do by going into library and then pressing C and highlighting two images. In spite of the massive resolution, in fact this come back as a DNG, if we just zoom into these two images, the depth of field is going to seem much smaller on the image on the left, which is the panoramic, because now that f5.6 is spread onto a bigger sensor. I'm going to go into this in a different video, but you do need to stop your lens down a bit more if you're going to do these sorts of shots. Now for me personally, as a food photographer, this is a great way to get a more medium format look. The optics and tilt shift lenses are brilliant. You don't really miss out not having autofocus because we don't really use it anyway. So for me, for bang for buck, a 90mm and a 45mm tilt shift lens with your two primary lenses is brilliant. When we get stuck in these tight spots, we shoot with the 45 and it becomes a 24mm lens. By stitching them together, we get bags of resolution. We get that medium format look. The only thing we're really missing is the bit depth in terms of the amount of colours that you get there. So I hope that was of use to you. If it was, do hit subscribe, do press like, do share it with your friends. I've just reached 1,000 subscribers today, which is very exciting. I'm going to keep putting out daily content, so do tune in, and I'll see you all next time.